Israel's situation right now, the blockade? Where do you fall on that?
Two things. They're both true. Number one, Israel is within its rights under international law to blockade a government, a country in making, a government that is at war with it. Point two, they made a mistake. I'm just telling you straight out. They could have let this boat go through. They are very much in need of the support of Turkey at the Security Council. I don't think that sanctions are ever going to be enough to turn Ahmadinejad away from getting a nuclear weapon. I said so on your show. Mm-hmm. But if there is any prayer for the sanctions, it was severely diminished in likelihood when Turkey, who sits on the Security Council, was put in this position. I think the wiser course for Israel on this occasion is let this boat go through because they were intending a confrontation. But I want to end on that point with the first way I started. Israel is in a fight for its life. Iran says it has no right to exist. Ahmadinejad, the leader of Iran, says that the Holocaust didn't exist. Hamas, who runs the government in Gaza, says Israel has no right to exist. Hamas is shooting missiles into Israel, has been, will again. So they're at war. And what Israel has to do is defend itself. I have 100% solidarity with Israel's need to defend itself. And when you're at war, you have the right to blockade the other country. Mm-hmm. And you search vessels, even neutral vessels, coming into those ports to make sure there are no armaments. In this case, Israel said, look, come into an Israeli port, we'll inspect, and you can offload and bus or truck everything in to Gaza, all the humanitarian stuff. Well, that was not what these guys wanted. So they were headed for a confrontation.
Let me ask you, and just to clarify here, I mean, you have seen the video and the Israeli military coming down and the pipes and the beating and everything. So your statement is, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, sir, is that Israel should have let this boat through and search the boat when it arrived in port, not at sea, because Israel is wrong, or they were baited into an activity like this?
They were baited into it. That's what I'm saying. Let me repeat.
All right.
They have the right. Hamas wants to destroy Israel. They're at war. You have the right to blockade when you're at war. But in terms of what, and let me also say, Israel offered that the ship could go into an Israeli port. It was not possible for them to search it once it hit Gaza because Israel doesn't have troops in Gaza anymore. Mm-hmm. In the past, Israel has let some ships go by. It hasn't been a 100% blockade. And so I would say diplomatically you pick your shots. And this particular one, I think I can say this from hindsight, I don't think anyone would disagree with me in hindsight, has turned out to be a disaster for Israel's public relations.
Does that play into the charge against you, sir, that you're too tough on Israel and you side with the Palestinian regime and the Palestinian ideology in the Middle East?
Not at all. I mean, if you looked at just what I said, Israel is within its rights. It is at war with Hamas. They have the absolute right to blockade. The only question is when you use your diplomatic judgment, they are very much in need of Turkey's support. No, and in fact, you'll see that point of view is shared by substantial numbers of the Israeli Knesset. So you have an alliance between the United States and Israel. I strongly support that military alliance, always have. And I call on the United States to say, if Israel needs to attack the nuclear facilities in Iran, the United States should be clear that we will support Israel. And I'm the only candidate, Eric, who said that. None of my colleagues running for the United States Senate have said that.